Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and not surprisingly, I got absolutely trounced by Atlas. Not even by Atlas, just by his damn mooks. It's just the idea that they can pile on damage so quickly while also strongly defending themselves. I don't know exactly how they got this distinction, but at high level they are the most dangerous things in the game, like outside of Super Sura. Like, I'm convinced. It's not even close. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. It's like you don't want to go deal with them when you have a projectile build because of the mirror shield. But then you don't want to deal with them when you've got a melee build because the Lancers have that stupid tectonic drill. And also the Knights have their, stone barrier. There is no winning against Atlas sometimes. And I don't know, it just doesn't it feels bad, man. It feels bad. And now at this point, I don't even know what build I want to do. Like, I'm thinking about it, and I don't know. It's like I want to experiment with something, but I don't know what I want to experiment with. Like, I'm actually a little gobsmacked at how quickly I lost as soon as I got to the living courtyards. So, why don't we just put together something balanced? Let's see, what's the best way to put together a good balanced build? Well, we're taking Air Spinner. I'll come back to the dash later. Alright, so something that does multiple hits for decent damage. Pardon me. Or like a shotgun effect. Like, I'm looking over things, trying to decide what I want to try. Spiral Rumblers was good. I liked working with that. Here we go. Then launch something at them while they're being knocked back by the Dragon Dive, but launch what at them? A spear? A big ball of water? And more dragons. I don't know. This seems good. Just go full dragon. Why not? It doesn't need to be with Dragonfall. It just needs to be dragons. I think dragons are the way forward today. I'll even go with something that actually works nicely for a bit of close range clout there. Now, what do I focus on? Strength? Crit rate? Something different? Do I focus on nothing? Do I, give up and go back to bed? I'm good at that. Definitely do that. No. I think what I do is I start with the Curse Eater's Mask. Why? Because that does both critical rate and damage. And we're just gonna roll with that. And I had mentioned last time that we had gotten piano a few times in a row, so let's do classics. And you guys already know that I have a bit of a bias for the classic soundtrack just to begin with, just because I think Dale North's compositions are just fantabulous. Dark Sage, that's not even a real word! And your point would be? Honestly, we all say things that aren't real words. We use use them anyway because they're convenient or because they convey the meaning that we're looking for. Oh, pardon me. Come on. Oh, this is the part of a run that I don't like, waiting to get the cursed relic that I'm looking for. Okay, Nox, you're starting to annoy me. Well, while I'm trying to get this to happen, I hope you're all having a wonderful day so far. Where I am, the temperature is nice and balanced now. It's, well, I don't want to say balanced, but we are currently sitting. I'm currently recording this at about 9:30 in the morning, and the temperature is about 57 degrees, which, if you remember what I said not too long ago about the temperature being in like the 90s, is a far cry from that. And you know, I couldn't be happier. I can just relax. I don't have to have the AC on. I don't have to have a fan on. Like, I just feel good. And it feels nice to not have to worry so much about that. So the weather's feeling good, the air is nice and crisp. It's feeling like fall, and you know, I have no complaints about that. Oh, well, I guess we don't have to worry about upgrading Air Spinner. Now, what I'm concerned about is that because of what the weather was like over the summer months, what is winter going to be like? Like, are we looking at having a very difficult winter, or am I just, you know, being overly worried about nothing? Okay, I've got a couple of freebies here. I don't know how I feel about them, but I've got them. Getting this robe upgraded is definitely a high point. I would like more cursed relics, though. Oh, hey, look what we can upgrade. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Yay! That was fun. Sometimes that's all you should really expect from something, is for it to be fun. And that actually segues nicely into one of the things that I've been thinking about. And that is the game Ember Knights. Now, perhaps I'm thinking about this a little bit too much, but wow, that was stupid. Yeah, just walk into the fireball. Don't worry, it'll never actually hit you. Now, what I'm thinking about it is... First of all, I want to point out that I enjoy the game. I recently went back and played a couple more runs and unlocked the next couple of weapons in the line, the bow and the staff, and they are very interesting. They're supportive of different play styles that I find to be really interesting, and the game is just a blast to play. Now, is that necessarily what I wanted to talk about? Well, no, because it seems like the only comments I've gotten on the game are negative and just accuse it of being a Hades clone, which, I mean, maybe a little bit? Like, I kind of get where that comment is coming from, but, you know, just because a game plays similarly to another game doesn't necessarily mean it's a ripoff. It's a ripoff if they're copying, like, one for one, the exact same ideas. Now, to be fair, the combat is similar. Now, similar does not mean the same, though. And that's kind of where I take issue with that particular comment, is I do feel as though the person who made that comment is being a little hyperbolic. I mean, the idea of game design in general is that it's a very iterative thing. Something comes out that people really like, and it's not too much of a surprise to say that sometimes you'll get other designers trying to make things that are similar to it. And admittedly, you get, like, just straight up ripoffs sometimes. But if a designer never iterates on something that came out that got popular, then sometimes you just don't get anything else of interest. Like, case in point, what if Mortal Kombat never came out to try to iterate on Street Fighter's success? Like, that wouldn't exactly be a good thing. I mean, not just because Mortal Kombat is, you know, big and popular, but also because there would be less competition in that field, and one thing that I would never suggest is good for something like, you know, gaming and whatnot, is less competition. And I wouldn't exactly call the hordes of Mortal Kombat clones a good thing, but let's see if she takes that. I hope she takes that. But no. And it wasn't worth it. Oh, hello. More curse eaters. Now we just need more curses. I am not smart. And no thanks. So I mean, yeah, on one end you've got, you know, similar combat styling, sure, but depending on how. Hold on, I'm trying to survive 2 encounters essentially showing up at the same time. I also kind of forgot the word that I was looking for, so give me a moment. You can have that. I don't really care about trying to use the parry mechanic in this game. Some people are good with it, I'm not. Kind of wish I hadn't picked up Ward of Frost. I don't really want this. I do want that, however. But the whole point is, I don't think that calling Ember Knights a Hades clone is really productive for the conversation. Like, depending on how pedantic I want to be about the differences between the 2 games, I could go into like differences about the story, about the characterization. I could be talking about the difference, like some of the weapon differences. Like the one that catches my attention is one of the arguments brought up is that the weapons were the same. Well, Hades doesn't have a staff weapon, so yeah. And I'm not using this as some sort of own. It's just something that I was thinking about after it was said and going, does that argument really make a lot of sense? And okay, you guys are upsetting me. Yeah, you can take your voltaic needle and go to bed. Yeah, there's nothing here that's really doing it for me. I'll take that. Yeah, that's about it. Do I want to give you anything else? I'm gonna hold on to that for now. That's been fun. That'll be at least a good temporary holdover for an actual, like, damage boost. Like, there's enough that sets it apart that I'm not sure why you would even get that. Is it because it's a game that does top-down combat? Because if that's the case, couldn't you make the argument that Wizard of Legend is a Hades clone? You know, even though it came out before Hades? Or by that standard, you could also call this a Binding of Isaac clone because it does the whole top-down gameplay thing. Like, just because something uses a similar set of mechanics doesn't mean it's ripping anything off. Now, there is one surefire example that I will go to as an example of one thing ripping off another, and that is that Castlevania Lords of Shadow is definitely a God of War ripoff. Matter of fact, it goes so far with its desire to want to plagiarize other designs that you could also call it, I'm gonna buy this. That you could also call it a Shadow of the Colossus ripoff. Like, there's iterative design, and then there's just plain not having any ideas of your own. But I think Ember Knights does plenty to stand out. I've been enjoying that game. Alright, this is turning out to be kind of a fun run. And to give you guys an idea as to how far that whole iterative design thing goes, when I first played Binding of Isaac, because I didn't know the name of the game at the time, my only real reference point for it was to say, hey, isn't that like Zelda-like game? And yeah, I think plenty of people would say, yeah, but Binding of Isaac isn't anything like Legend of Zelda. And that's exactly my point. Just because something looks similar doesn't mean it's the same. I'm kind of feeling like this whole start with the Curse Eater's mask thing is not working out. And that's not because I'm not appreciating the like bonuses to critical hit rate or damage or anything like that. It's that I haven't seen hide nor hair of any other cursed relics since I started this run. And if you want to talk about creative iterations, would there be such a thing as the Armored Core series if it wasn't for things like Voltron and Gundam? And to a similar extent, Power Rangers. Or in fact, Power Rangers, which is a fan-beloved IP, wouldn't even be a thing if it wasn't iterated upon by the original Japanese show Super Sentai. So maybe the more important question isn't how much does Ember Knights rip off from Hades? It'd be how much has it been iterated upon by things that came both before it, and when I say it, I mean Hades, both before and after it. Because games with a top-down with a top-down game design and combat-focused structure are not, they can't only be done by Hades, after all. Anything over here I like? Not really. I don't know. Maybe the reason why I'm so fixated on that point is because it was just so immediate. Like that commentary came like almost immediately after I posted that video, which means that that's something that's been on that person's mind for a while now, and I can't help but think, doesn't it seem a little disingenuous to just call something a ripoff without giving it a chance? Like, I had shown off a good number of other games that were at the very least new to me over the course of this past week, but I mean, it's very telling to me that I didn't get anything about Madshot being a Risk of Rain clone. Or, 20 Minutes Till Dawn being a Vampire Survivors clone. At least with that one, it would be a little bit more on the nose. But again, I stress that just because something is iterating on a similar design doesn't mean it's a ripoff. There are no cursed relics, only Zool. Oh hey, finally something I want. Owie. Yeah, that was my own fault. Wasn't paying attention to what was going on. Oh hey, look! Finally, another cursed relic. And of these, what do I want? Well, I think we can safely get rid of that, and we'll take the silver spinning top. knock it off. Oops. Oh, I still hit. Okay. Oh, fairy adoption. You know. Actually, let's get rid of that. And actually, the Gust Stone here is probably not a bad thing to take either. But I'm gonna go without it because I do like how the rest of my relics are kind of pairing up. When I say pairing up, I mean synergizing, because that is a word. And on the whole point of iterating on other things, I mean, if I want to like really put myself through, if I really want to put myself through that ringer, couldn't one say that, you know, history iterates upon itself? I mean, what is a sword if not a really big knife? I mean, one could say that armor is just clothing that's meant to protect from more than just the elements, if you want to go that direction with it. And a spear is basically just a knife on a stick. A bow is basically just a recurved stick that fires spears. And then a gun is a mechanized bow that fires tiny knives. Admittedly at ballistic force, but I mean, you know, that's kind of the point that I'm getting at here, is that if I really want to go from pedantic to straight up petty, that's the sort of argument that I would make, and I kind of have, so maybe I am the petty asshole here. But the point that I'm getting at is that just because something looks like something else doesn't mean that it's exactly the same and is ripping off. Like, honestly, I wouldn't have even made the Hades comparison if it hadn't been brought up, because I looked at the game and said, alright, this is neat. It's colorful, it's fast-paced, it's definitely a fun action roguelike game. So, Oof, you don't really notice how much your movement speed actually affects your ability to dodge attacks until you take something like the Silver Spinning Top. Which is not to say the Silver Spinning Top is a bad item. I don't want anyone getting it twisted. It's just, I think I probably should have done something a little bit different for this build than the Silver Spinning Top. Should have gone with the armor, I think. Owie. Ow, I've been Scorpion Speared. Hey, you like Dragon Dive too. Owie. Alright, well, there wasn't much I could do about that. Ow. Oh, the pain. There we go. That was a nice victory, as well as a nice little discussion about iteration in game design. And a little bit about history, because I was being a petty asshole. Again, if you guys have anything to add to that conversation, and I suspect that you might, then always feel free to leave it down in the comments below. Really bootstrap? I don't know what I know exactly what I was trying to say, I lie. And, boost up that, YouTube engagement. Of course, I always appreciate you guys coming and spending some of your free time with me. It's always a pleasure. I hope you have a fantastic day or night wherever you may happen to be in. I hope to catch you in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you